So this is the Mercedes B-Class. And one thing, I just start off with something that I find frustrating because we're parked and the parking brake is on. This has an electronic parking brake. It's on the left here, and it won't go off on its own, and it doesn't come on its own either. So when you pull up, if you don't remember to pull the handle, it just rolls away. And the same when you're trying to drive off. Look, nothing. You have to pull the brake, make it go off. Now, that may seem like a small thing, but you'd be surprised how them small things add up to being something that's kind of annoying. This is, to all intents and purposes, a 5-seat hatchback. Okay, now Mercedes is in the luxury segment, and it's hard to quantify then, so it's hard to kind of compare it against its competitors, which would be BMW and Audi would be the two main ones, because, well, BMW don't do 5-door hatch until you get to A-Class, 1 Series, and A1 and A3 are hatchbacks, but both of them are in a different segment completely. This is kind of big. So this is kind of, I suppose, like, I have to compare it to sort of VW Golf, Ford Focus, maybe a Renault Scenic or something. You know, the S-Max, and they're 7 seats. Mind you, it's very hard to kind of quantify this one because they're not in the luxury segment. They can be. VW is kind of. They've got a foot in it anyway. But taking it on its own, let's just take it as it is. Let's start off with the good stuff. First of all, there is so much room in the cabin, it's ridiculous. There's tons. They seem to have dropped the floor down. They've made a lot more headroom, and this is a very comfortable seating position for me. I'm quite far back from the dashboard, yet I fit behind myself very easily. 3 passengers in the rear, no problem. Full-size child seats in the back, no problem. Wide opening doors allow you easy access into the car from all angles, even funny ones. The doors are fairly big in a car park, I have to admit. You know, some of those kind of tighter nose-on or rear-on spaces can be a little bit hard to open the doors. But still, the doors are big, and that's very important for a parent. Sliding doors would have been better, but nonetheless, we don't have those, so we can't test them. Still, the B-Class is good in all of those respects. Plus, Mercedes basically invented a diesel engine. And they're no slouch here. This one's powered by a 1.8 litre CDI engine, and fuel economy is spectacular. Average is 5 litres per 100 kilometres. Average. That includes a very fast run up to an airport the other morning at silly o'clock as usual to go on an international press trip. So you can't debate on those factors. It's in tax band A. It's got a good bit of equipment as well, including a safety thing that tells you when you're too close to the car in front of you. I have Bluetooth. Whichever engine you pick, you're going to get basically the same spec in every single car. That makes life very easy. Now, there are a couple of niggling things that are kind of annoying. One is that radio looks a little bit like an old gramophone. I'd love to be able to twist a knob and fly my way through these channels, but you don't. You actually press a button, it just skips to the next thing. I don't know why they made it look like that, but it does. Okay, it's different. I get it. It's different. Bluetooth for a phone call works fine. Bluetooth for audio doesn't work. I can't make my iPhone play music through the Bluetooth. Okay, that could be a problem with my iPhone, although it's never happened before. It could be just some sort of connectivity issue between the two. There's a USB port in here, and for the life of me, I can't make it recognize anything. I've tried a USB key and I've tried a phone as well, and neither of which seem to work. It just says USB device unreadable on the screen. Now again, that could be just me or just this car, so don't panic over that, but I'm just pointing something out that I found is a little bit of an issue. Mercedes don't do anything like any other company, and what I mean by that is that all of their controls are in a different place than basically everybody else. So they have a stalk on this side. There is only one stalk. That stalk does the wipers, the rear wipers, the full beam headlamps and the indicators and the washers all on one stalk, which can get a little bit messy, especially when you just want to You know, you get a little sprinkling of rain on the windscreen, you just want to wipe the windscreen just to kind of once, just a little, but you can't do that. You have to turn a knob there to make the windscreen wipers operate. Good point. Gearbox is very nice. It's a manual. Mercedes say that about 50% of these would probably be sold in automatic. But this manual one is actually quite nice. I quite like it. Reverse, again, being a Mercedes, is in a different place. Reverse is pull up and then dogleg backwards. So it's in another kind of unusual spot. That wouldn't bother me so much, to be honest with you, because, well, you don't reverse very often. I could do with a set of parking sensors, would be nice to see parking sensors on the car. They are obviously an optional extra, they're just not on this test car, because visibility is not spectacular out the back window, I must admit. Now on the cruise, like I am right now, the car is smooth to say the least. It's very quiet, it's very composed on the road when it's like this. At higher speeds, there is a little bit of movement in the steering wheel once you get up to kind of motorway speeds, and you'll find that it is, you know, you do have to kind of push that steering wheel around to keep yourself on the straight and narrow a bit. Again, not a big issue, a lot of cars do that, but I've never known a German car to do it. The leather interior in this one is called Arco man-made leather, which means it's synthetic. Now, I don't really have a quibble with synthetic leather, to be honest with you. I don't really care whether cows died to make my car or not really a big issue. But what I would kind of have a problem with is that it tends to be a lot more kind of creaky than real leather. It tends to creak underneath you and make noises. Especially when you have child seats fitted in the back and you go around the corner. The seat tends to make noises as the plastic car seat moves around a little bit. It tends to make an awful lot of creaking noises. Again, not a massive issue. I could live with that, to be honest with you. I do like the stop-start, by the way. It's very good. It stops with very little vibration and starts again with none. No vibration at all. That's amazing. That's very unusual. No vibration at all when it's restarting. That's worth commending now, to be honest with you, because usually your whole seat vibrates and everything vibrates in the bloody cabin when you try to do a stop-start. Not in this one. Very good. Very, very good. Nice to have a 3-point star in front of me. I'm looking forward to testing the rest of the range this year, if at all possible, whatever's out there, as it is when it goes to test. But at the moment, the B-Class is where it's at with Mercedes. This is what they're pushing. There is a Mercedes ML to come as well this year. I've tested that briefly, just a kind of a short drive on one day. We only had it like half an hour with the car. And it seemed pretty good, I have to say. Pretty good, not bad at all. But to sum it up, I suppose, the Mercedes, they did a really spectacular job on space and fuel economy. Excellent. Space in the cabin, excellent. Fuel economy, excellent. No problem with either one of them two. The integration of technology into the car wasn't their strong point. There are some frustrating things, and I suppose there are a couple of build quality issues as well, the way things vibrate behind me as I go around corners and bump and stuff. It's just me. Anyway, fare thee well!